So recently, DPSCD just voted to acknowledge Pride Month within the school calendar. How will you stress the importance of advancing LGBTQ plus equity in classrooms?
I know we have a group that's in Cass Tech. I would like to see groups such as the LBQT in other schools. I believe that all students need to be represented and respected. And I am glad that they're acknowledging that on the school calendar, as previously we had Muslim students who wanted their holidays acknowledged. And I think it's very important for us to be inclusive and to be understanding and be respectful of students who may not share the same backgrounds and or religions, but it's to be respected and it should be honored.
I think when it comes to enforcing the Pride Month and what they did to make sure that that's acknowledged is that we have to know and understand that everybody is different and that everybody come on different paths or different journeys, and we should never judge one another, look at somebody different, but that everybody should be respected in the way that they, carry their lives, and everybody should be respected in the way that they choose to live their life. And that if that's something that they choose to do, is that we should be able to offer the support that they need to be able to feel comfortable. So.
Then we, since that was adopted and it's on the calendar, we must live by it. We must celebrate. Everybody is not the same. And I don't have a problem with that. And we need to let our students know everybody's not the same. But like I said before, deep down inside we are, and we all want the same thing just about. So we need to celebrate. If it's on the calendar, let's celebrate. And let's bring in, again, let's bring in show the students, let them know the difference and let them know it's not wrong. They're just different. And I wouldn't say different. Again, I say we're all the same. So if that's the direction someone chooses to go or feels to go, I say, let's celebrate. Let's be open.
Well, I think that, it's all about student choice. It's all about, so if at the end of the day, if I invite the students to come have a conversation with us, while we're in the process of making decisions, then we can say, hey, how do you feel? Tell us, what do you want? Tell us, what do you think is necessary? And so just like, we've had in June, we had the Gay Pride Parade or the rally. I think those things are necessary, and I think that it shows that we care and that we support you in whatever orientation, whatever race you have or you are. I believe that those things are necessary, and it's really quite, it speaks to the values that we have and the morals that we have as a district. And so I think that it's very important that we say, hey, we support you. We may not be that, or we may not represent that, but we represent you because together we're one and we represent each other. And so we support you, and we're going to fund whatever we think that is necessary to, show that support to you and your community. And so I agree. I love it. Just like I was there in June. I don't necessarily, represent that community, but I was there because those students are there and they're just as important to us as any other community. And so I think they are important. I think that all of that should be implemented into the curriculum, especially if we're talking about learning those things. And if we identify as such, then let's get an opportunity to meet them where they are and have that.
I think, Pride Month, of course, I work in diversity, equity, inclusion. So we're doing it all the time in the corporate space. But I think we've got more work to do at the school level so that it reaches to a point where it does not result in bullying and things of that nature. And I think when we create, to me, that's a given. How you come, how you show up, bringing your whole self to school is a given. We're a public education system. We should be welcoming everybody. But I think there's an educational piece that we're missing when we don't talk about some of that belonging and what it looks like and what it feels like to not belong. I do workshops all the time with adults. And so I have all of these questions and pictures and videos on when a person belongs, how they feel and how they perform. And then flip it when a person does not feel like they belong. And then what does their performance look like, whether it's in school or in a corporate space? And I think we've got more work to do. The Pride space, I know I went to a multicultural diversity day at Cass Tech last year in the gym. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I would love to, and I know in pockets, schools are doing things because I got calendars. And so I know people are doing things, but I think holistically at scale, there's some things that we could do. And I think educating people on what all of that means is one of it, because, ignorance, we can't say for a person who chooses to be ignorant, that's one thing, but there is an ignorance to a lot of that simply because people don't know. So if you don't know, then that's on us. We're an educational institution, so we should be educating people in all of those spaces. And that's just one of those spaces. So I support anything that the school level wants to do regarding Pride Month, but I think holistically as a district, we've got more to do in terms of educating people about it. Adults too. Because we can't just assume this is just behavior from young people. Adults are in the same space in the schools, not understanding it. And so we don't have a tolerance for people who don't allow people, whether they're adults or young people, to come and bring their whole selves to the school buildings. Has to be repercussions behind it, because if not, the behavior will continue with other people.
First of all, we need to advance anything that is important to anybody, right? And so I'm a strong believer in in civil rights. And so I think that we should be listening to what our LGBTQ plus, sorry guys, I have a stutter. It's not that I don't know it, but we should be listening and making sure that there are folks at the table who are participating, giving advice, giving instruction, collaborating. I think it's important that we celebrate all people, but especially our LGBTQ. And so I'm a proponent of equity. I'm a proponent of, making sure that our kids feel included. And so whatever we need to do to make them feel included, we should. And we should support our students, and we should, no matter what they are. I don't care, to me, and I say this, across the board, we just want to have healthy students who want to learn. And so we shouldn't, create a bunch of division, right? We should just support and help our students to advance their causes.
100%. Absolutely. I totally support it.
Do you have any ideas of any processes or programs that you'd want to implement?
I have not given that any thought, but I certainly would support it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Cool.